welcome today on Wasssl podcast. We are in Dubai with Pakistani crossing borders. I'm so happy to be with you today.
Excited to be here.
Why are you doing what you're doing?
Why do I love what I do? I get to work with many industries. I got to see how e-commerce is exploding in Pakistan. My background is law. I was looking for a job, a position as a lawyer. I ended up at Express Tribune. I started writing articles for them. I started writing about fashion. I started writing about beauty. Then Daraz happened. Daraz was looking for PR and communications expert. It was sharing space with Foodpanda, Lazada, Lamudi. All of them were sitting in one space.
Hello, welcome today on Wasssl podcast. We are in Dubai recording with one of the Pakistani crossing borders between UAE, Pakistan and Sri Lanka and also other countries. I think today is going to be like a marketing masterclass. So needed for an engineer like me. I'm just discovering marketing the last 1 or 2 years with all my brands and stuff. So I'm so happy to be with you today, recorded in Dubai. So
excited to be here.
Thank you for making it. So my first question would be, why are you doing what you're doing? It can be on personal level, professional level, mix, whatever.
So I love marketing because you get to really do so marketing can be anything from creativity to entrepreneurship, how you want to sort of promote your brand. There are a lot of layers to it. I really enjoy, I went on a bit of a spiral here, but sorry.
It's okay.
So why do I love what I do? I think you get to really, you work with so many brands. I get to work with many industries. I got to see how e-commerce is sort of exploding in Pakistan. When I started marketing, so my background is law. I studied law.
Oh, okay.
And then,
nothing to do with marketing.
So, absolutely. So I studied law. And then when I graduated, I was looking for a job. First, I was looking for a job and I was trying to find a position as a lawyer. I ended up at Express Tribune. They were looking for a legal counsel. When I spoke to them, they were like, hey, we don't have a position for legal counsel. How about you come and write articles for us? So I did that. I went to the Express Tribune. I started writing articles for them. When I wrote articles, I was like, I'm writing about fashion.
That was in Karachi, right?
That was in Karachi. I was working at Express Tribune as a sub-editor. I started writing about fashion. I started writing about beauty. I was writing about celebrities. And I was like, this is fun. Law was interesting, but this seems interesting too. Like I'm writing about, a lot of PR articles started coming to us. L'Oreal wanted to write about some new launch coming along. There are a lot of fashion. Khadi wanted to write about they were inviting us to events. It was as somebody who had just graduated, a 21-year-old, going to events, going to fashion weeks. It was really cool. Then Daraz happened. Daraz was looking for a PR and communications expert. I did not even know what PR means at that time. Sure, I was getting PR articles.
You were doing it already,
I was doing it already, but I did not know what a PR manager really does. I went for the interview. At that time, I loved my job. So I was like, I don't know, let's see. I'm going to go for the interview. I'll see how that goes.
Daraz was still small at that.
It was very small. It was in a
guess.
shared space. It was just like maybe like 50 employees. It was sharing space with Foodpanda, Lazada, Lamudi. All of them were sitting in one space.
Right.
And then, I show up for the interview. It goes well. I was like, do I want to explore PR? The interview went really well because they were looking for somebody who has some sort of a background in writing and writing a blog and journalism. I was like, okay, seems interesting. So I accept the job. I think the idea that it was in Dolmen Mall was also really exciting to me as a 21-year-old. Still, I thought somewhere that, I may want to explore law still, but let's try this out. So just talking about the journey, because it's important. It's not like I can't say I always want to do marketing. No, I studied law. Then I started doing this and I realized that, okay, there's... if you get to work with all of these brands, if I get to launch a phone in a market, if I get to work with a brand like Infinix or Xiaomi, and these brands did not exist before, and I get to sort of create these ripples in the scene, like Black Friday, for example, did not exist in Pakistan. And then in 2015, we're like, okay, you know what? There is some sort of a demand. We see some people searching for it online. Let's try it out. Calling Friday Black in Pakistan was very controversial. But we're like, let's explore. Let's try it out. We put out some articles. Daraz is bringing Black Friday in the market. And the kind of impact it had, the way we were able to sort of create a space for e-commerce and then events like Black Friday 11/11 was really exciting. I think there are a lot of jobs that you do there are brands that you launch. There are people who are working in finance, people who are working in fashion. You get to do things and you get to see changes that you're making.
Right.
But in marketing, it's very immediate. You put up an article, you put up a post, you get to see likes immediately. You run an ad, you see ROI. There's a lot of dependency on it. And I really enjoyed that, like how you're able to carve a narrative, how you're able to build a brand, and how you're sort of able to sort of see the impact immediately. It's really exciting. And that's what sort of got me into it. And I kept doing it. And then I was doing it for multiple brands. And the impact is really exciting.
Amazing. You've been working with like Pakistani brands, also global brands like L'Oreal and like really quite big brands. What do you think like the brands from Pakistan, for example, struggle the most when trying to compete on like regional level and also global level?
Yeah. Pakistani brands do struggle with budgets. I think that would be one thing.
Because they think that marketing doesn't deserve to give that much money on it.
Yes, I think so. It's that
they're not aware of the importance, maybe.
So the good things what Pakistani brands really benefit from is talent. I think Pakistan has great talent. You're able to hire some of the best people. I have worked with some of the best people in Pakistan. The challenges that do come along, a lot of challenges in terms of how things are done on a government level as well. You're setting up a company. There will be like problems that you face in Pakistan in terms of red tape, in terms of execution that you might not face elsewhere, in terms of maybe some sort of professionalism as well.
Right.
That you might not face there. Otherwise, be it talent or also maybe in terms of ease of getting things done, I would love to launch a brand in Pakistan. Because if I were to sort of get something made, have access to vendors, have access to, doing this, for example, it's a lot easier in Pakistan that way. But in terms of making money, getting your customers to building a customer base for, let's say, if you were to launch a makeup brand or a skincare brand, the kind of money that the kind of price point that you can keep in Pakistan is not the same that you can keep in another market.
Of course.
So a lot of brands that I work with right now, they do want to enter UAE, and they want to do that particularly because they can charge a higher price.
Yeah, so but it's not with the same budget of marketing.
It's not the same. You have to spend a lot more, but you can also make a lot more. It's easier to get the customer in. Customer stickiness can also be more
there
because you're able to, yes, you spend a little more money, but then you are able to get more out of them, and you're able to keep them engaged by like different things that you do here.
Mm-hmm. And what would be like from your experience, maybe working with Pakistani clients and UAE clients? We're talking about like a cross-border, also the mindset and how do you manage these differences? Because I felt like it's been 12 months that I'm living in Pakistan, and I feel like marketing in Pakistan is so basic. So first level. It's so like first degree.
Absolutely.
And I was like, why?
Yeah.
Because maybe the country like stay a little bit closed and not very much exposed to the international, or I don't know what's the reason. Maybe you will tell me.
Yeah.
But as someone who lived in Paris for 10 years, Morocco is also a very mature economy. We don't have this first degree kind of marketing. We like when it's more subtle, when it's more reflected.
Yeah.
And this is what you, as you say, just like create that depth.
Yeah.
And also create that engagement and build that relationship with the audience or with the customers or wherever. So for me, it was like very shocking and surprising. Tell me what's your take about as a marketer.
As a marketer. I think it's very difficult to be too experimental in Pakistan because there's too much of a risk involved in terms of how people may perceive it. A lot of times, like you want to do something that's a little bit crazy. In other markets, you can be very experimental, crazy. You can spend your money. Also, people are a bit more cautious in terms of how they spend their money. In other markets, people are still a bit more okay with exploring a channel that has already been explored, and they're like, okay,
maybe wasting some money.
Yeah, maybe wasting some money, or also just knowing that it's tried and tested. Like a lot of things have already been done before, so it's okay to sort of try it out because you see other people do it. In Pakistan, like you said, it's very basic, so not a lot of things are happening. And then you were like, okay, if others are not doing it, maybe I shouldn't either. Like, let's just follow the blueprint. So there's that. And also in terms of even narrative building and communication, people try to play it very, very safe. So there are two reasons for that. One, because of the audience, you don't know how they will receive it. Two, a lot of the businesses are still being run. So the bigger companies, the younger kids have stepped in, but it's still like this, the decision makers are still their fathers
the father and grandfather.
or their uncles. Exactly. And then a lot of conflict comes in that.
And yes, if you're still here, subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot to grow and it will mean the world to us.
Or you're putting up this message on social media. This is not our brand. We're not comfortable with it. There are a lot of, in Pakistan, there's a little bit of rigidity when it comes to how things are done and how people may perceive it, how the audience may see you. Religion does enter a lot, even when it comes to marketing. It does often get in.
Yeah.
And that's...
I've seen it in cosmetic. I cannot show much of the body.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a challenge. So that, even for example, like the kind of Black Friday is the first thing that I experienced when it came to something which was controversial. And the way the market was reacting to having that kind of a name was also a little insane. But so I think that's one challenge. You have to be limited. Second, it's budget. If you have a certain amount of money, you would want to play it safe. That, okay, this is what's working. Might as well put it here, as opposed to just doing something that is very exciting and very different.
So it's a more a marketing oriented to get sales and not a marketing to build more a brand and having like other international and global brands are doing, because global brands, as I see it, and that's what I love. And by the way, Rasta is doing it and I like the approach.
Love it. Yeah.
It's really doing things for the sake of doing them.
Yeah.
And showing something.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily like,
No.
and then it will sell by itself normally.
Yeah. So that is 100%. I think in Pakistan, not many brands exist. They have products and they have companies and they're selling things, but I would not call it a brand. Most of it is not branding or a brand. Very few companies are actually trying to build a brand. And I don't think in Pakistan they realize the importance of having a narrative, speaking to an audience, thinking about if your brand was a person, what person would that brand be? So it's a bit of a learning curve. If you speak to them, you explain it to them, they do get it. I still think that it's a long way to go. And the brands you speak of, Rasa's doing amazing. Like, they really built a brand, a narrative, a message around their business. If anyone thinks of Rasa, they will think about all the communication they've done around their brand and the kind of messaging that they're putting out there.
Exactly.
But you can't think of many brands in Pakistan who are doing that. I think now it's getting there, especially ever since I started Hooked. I've realized that there's so many young brands that are coming about, that people are really focusing on, okay, what's our story? Who we want to speak to? What kind of people do you want to speak to? And what kind of people do we want to engage who speak about our brand? Which was not there before. It was very much, okay, one size fits all, do what's working, get whoever, and also just which kind of influencer you want to associate with. Doesn't have to have a following. It could just be somebody with less followers, but a good voice, an impactful voice. So it's changing. I see the difference now. I think people are evolving. People are understanding the impact of
the shift is happening.
The organic content, real content is something that they are sort of getting into, as opposed to the same old animations and putting like a banner and putting some random visuals together. But I think there's a lot of potential still. But we're getting there. I don't think we're far behind.
By the way, actually, that was one of my question around in platforms now like TikTok, Instagram, Shorts, the storytelling, how you decide which platform can work for which brand, as like with all your experience today.
Yeah. So one thing I try to tell my brands, try to be on all platforms. Right? There are people everywhere. So at least when it comes to Instagram, TikTok, sure, a lot of brands have their reservations when it comes to TikTok, but the audience is there. You should be there. The kind of content you do for each platform can vary, but you should be. There should be a LinkedIn presence. There should be something on YouTube. And you grow your following everywhere, because that's where the people are.
It's different also audiences, I guess.
Different audiences, and you get to sort of you should have all your touch points active. Why sort of hold back? You can hold back on what kind of content you're doing. You can carve your narrative in a certain way. You can have your branding in a certain way, but it does not have to be holding back channels because you don't sort of see yourself on a channel. It's a bit of a lazy approach that, okay, let's just do Instagram, let's leave TikTok, because everything matters.
And you think it's the same content, or will you need to adapt content to a platform?
Ideally, you should adapt, but I don't think anyone has the capacity
luxury
right now
to do everything at once.
Yeah, so it's a lot. I think baby steps. The first one would be just be present on each platform, and then
with the same content.
Okay. You can have some sort of change. Some on TikTok, you can still be a little more experimental, a little more edgy. So you can have that. You could decide, okay, you're making a certain. You're making a certain number of videos, and you could decide, okay, this one does not fit my Instagram audience at all, but on TikTok it would work. So you could just sort of plan around that. On YouTube, you can go with like some long form content as well,
right,
which you can't really do on Instagram. So in that way, yeah, but I wouldn't say pick and choose channels, go for all channels, but then just be consistent.
Okay, so to all the brands, you need to go to be everywhere.
You gotta be everywhere.
And how about paid content versus organic? Because I'm going crazy around it. I'm like still discovering, and like everyone is telling me like the algorithm has changed, the followers doesn't mean anything right now. And still like the businesses are processing like and judging a business according to the number of followers.
Yeah.
So can we elaborate a little bit? Number of followers, paid versus organic content.
Followers do matter when it comes to optics. Followers are not going to help
What does it mean?
It means
Optics.
that if somebody lands on your profile and they see that, okay, you have 0 followers, it's not going to look so exciting, right? It's going to look, doesn't look great.
Okay. Just like this first impression thing.
First impression, right? As a brand, if somebody lands on your feed and they don't see much going on in terms of following, it's not going to be exciting. But that said, growing followers in today's age is very, very difficult. It's not about, Instagram is not getting people to, when I'm going through Instagram, doom scrolling, I'm not following people. You just watch a reel, you like it. If you want to share it with a friend, you share it. You don't end up following the page unless you really love that creator. You're like, okay, I want to see more of this content. Otherwise, it's not really something people are actively doing on Instagram right now.
Because the behavior changed.
Behavior has changed. It's all about it's about views. You want to get viewed more. You don't necessarily want to have
hundreds of thousands of followers.
And also in terms of likes, it's not like your video is going to get a lot of likes now. People are quietly sort of scrolling. They'll view, they might share, and they'll scroll past. I think even the likes are sort of going down.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's not the same. So followers, if I were to say, is it important? Not particularly, in the sense you can't focus on followers because it's not easy to build followers. Is it nice to have followers? For sure. If somebody lands on your in terms of optics, it look great. But even then, let's say, because a lot of brands are starting out now and it's not easy to build followers. So how is it that they can still stand out? Not a lot of people will actually land on your feed. They will just, very few people will be like, oh, this reel looks interesting. Let's see what more they have to say on their page.
Right.
That's how it will. But let's say when they do, if you have great content and it has a lot of views and somebody lands on your profile and they see that, okay, they're creating great content and it's getting a lot of views, then that also works with optics. So even if the followers are not there, but you have a lot of content, good looking content, which shows that there's a lot of engagement, a lot of views that are there, so that would work. So do followers matter when it comes to you getting more views? Not particularly. But do they look good? Sure. But what else looks good? If you have good content that looks good, looks real, and
especially reflects your brand and who you are. That's for me the most important. It's like social media. It's like your shop.
Portfolio. It's your shop.
Your portfolio, exactly.
It's what's
and how about the organic versus the paid?
Paid is very, very important.
Okay. How and why? And because I still sometimes like, should I do paid content or just like stick to organic? And organic's gonna take much more time, right?
Yeah. As in, you will run
unless you go viral with some random thing sometimes.
That would be nice. We all like that. So Organic is 100%. It's like you need to post every day. Ideally, every day. If not, you can't manage every day, then post every second day. But have something out there. You should have reels. You should have carousels. You should have founder-led content. You should have whatever you can put out that represents your brand.
Right.
You should be very active and have a very strong sort of voice. You should be a thought leader in your space. So that's one. But you also want to get sales. Organic content will help with brand building. It will also help people land on your website from the link in bio. All that's fine. But with paid content, the kind of reach you can get, the way you can target people. If you're talking about paid marketing, running ads
for conversion.
For conversion. So to be able to target the right people and get sales from them and to run ads to them that are very specific to getting conversions is important for any brand to grow.
Right.
I think a lot of brands sort of disregard that. They think that, okay, you know what? Because a lot of people advise that, okay, just keep posting organically and you will do well. It's good, but it needs to be a balance. If you don't have paid content, then you're not going to be able to scale quickly. You want to be able to get in sales. And for that, you need to have content that is sequential. It's specific. Okay, these people abandoned cart. Let's send them let's target them with a different content piece. These people are new to makeup. They're searching for makeup. Let's target them with a different content piece. So you need to have that paid sort of strategy in place because that's the only way for a brand to really grow quickly and sort of stand out.
Okay. And help in the decision making, actually.
Help decision making. And even with paid, it's very important for people to understand paid content does not have to be those animated visuals or very salesy content. It should be real organic content that you run as an ad. So that if I'm scrolling on Instagram, I will see the ad and I will think that, okay, this looks genuine. Let's see what they have to say and then convert, hopefully. Otherwise, it's just going to be another ad that I scroll past. So even the paid strategy needs to be very organic and real and raw for it to work.
And well thought.
Well thought, yeah. And just real.
Interesting. And how do you balance data with creativity?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you want to be creative, but there is like, as you said, you were just like saying data and what works, what doesn't work, and double down on what works. So how do you balance these two?
Very good question. So data, I think, so there are two things to it. So there are two types of marketers. One is very heavy on creative, branding, want to make the craziest thing, does not look at data.
That stand out.
And does not look at data. They're just all about being creative and being fun and just putting their creative juices out there.
Yeah.
And then there's the performance marketer who's very much focused on ROI, numbers, running the ad, looking at all the analytics.
Right.
And then there's somebody in between. I try to be somebody in between because I think it's very important to bridge data with the creative that you're running. And I know they say the algorithm's changing and it's all so random and you put it out there but you don't know. But because we do this every day, it's not sure the algo's there. But like you can see what your audience has been reacting to. You can see the kind of formats you're getting views on.
And yes, if you're still here, subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot to grow and it will mean the world to us.
ROI on, CTR on, all the data. I know it's a little bit, sometimes it feels a bit random because sometimes we really like something and you're like, oh, this looks so good. Why did people not like it? But if you just see the trends and you see what's working and you see it across brands, there's one thing that sort of tang it all together, the kind of visuals, the kind of hooks, and what's working in terms of an ad and what's just working in terms of social organic. So the question is data. How does data matter? I think it really, really matters, especially to scale a brand, to create your entire sort of content funnel. If you're running a business, you need to be able to look at the funnel. You need to be able to look at, okay, who are the number of consumers that you have, the number of people who were shopping from you regularly and then they stop shopping from you, why they stop shopping from you, what kind of content do you need to show them for them to come back, what kind of reviews, the kind of like, you want to make it product focused, you want to make it review focused, you want to make it whatever sort of funnel, whatever part of the funnel they're in, you need to bring them back with the kind of way you speak to them. And that is how the content that you make for them will be based on where in the funnel they are. So abandoned, there, but haven't made the decision, So content, it goes really well together. And that's what I sort of learned at Daraz as well, because we had access to so much data. And we're like, okay, we have this data, we have all this money, I have $500,000, I can't just spend it on something random. It needs to be linked back to the customer. We have all of this. And the thing is, when for a regular brand, for some brand that's just coming about, that has some sort of physical store, has an Instagram presence, and maybe also they have a website, they didn't value, now they're starting to, the data they've collected online so much, because it's all about, it's a little random, right? It's not really,
you need to organize it, clean it and stuff.
Yeah. So, and if it's not organized, and it's like, okay, how do we sort of manage it? So having been in a position where it's all just about, when we just had organized data, we were able to sort of understand the value of it. And that's what I tell my brands as well, that look at the data. Everything should be data backed. You should look at how the consumer responded to a certain campaign, and then plan accordingly, plan from that. It's all linked. It can't be organic versus paid, or data versus just random. Just look it all together and plan.
A whole package.
It has to be packaged.
Oh my God, I have so much to learn. Again, I told you, like, for me, it's like the marketing, I'm discovering it. And especially in Pakistan, like, there's a different mindset. People react to different stuff.
Yeah.
People love a lot of funny things, a lot of silly things. So it's like, okay, what should I do in this space? Yeah. And I was also struggling, for example, for English, because Pakistan is so Urdu based, not like India or other countries from the region.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, how should I talk to these people? Either for my media company and also for the cosmetic brand, I'm like now thinking that maybe I should introduce, but I'm taking it as an international brand. So it's a Moroccan brand brought to Pakistan, and I also want to expand regionally and hopefully globally. What would you tell a brand like me, like just maybe starting in Pakistan and want to expand? What will be the 3 to 5 things that maybe steps or we need to focus on to build this and have also this kind of, we can't see the frontier lines anymore between like local and global and regional.
Yeah. So I think one thing that is really working out for local brands in Pakistan is that people are really getting into shopping local. There's this surge of wanting to buy local products ever since the boycotts as well. And just generally the local space has gotten really interesting. A lot of fun brands popping up. A lot of young people who are well exposed to the international markets are bringing their own products. So that's good. It's a good time to launch a brand in Pakistan. So that's one. The second thing that a person like you who's coming about, who's also saying you're struggling with the Urdu aspect, I think that's should not be so much of a challenge for you, because Pakistan, and again, that's something that I've seen over time, we like aspirational brands. We like people who sort of package their product in a very international way. So if you are somebody who's speaking in English and presenting your product in English, people like that. People like to see the cool sort of product that's very sort of whitewashed. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is.
They love the exotic touch.
They love the exotic touch. They love that, okay, so they feel like, okay, there's like an international aspect to it. That's just how it is. People don't like too Urdu focused. They don't like too desi.
Too desi.
Yeah. It's just how it is. It's not something. So I think that's not really like a problem for you. That could just be a strength, that people are like, oh, she has that sort of Parisian thing going on, and the Moroccan Parisian, it should really work for you.
Okay.
So that's one. I think so. Creating an aspirational brand that people can sort of see compared to international brands is always really great for us.
All right.
The third thing would be to plan, and I think in today's age, not just in Pakistan, but generally everywhere, especially for cosmetics and beauty and skincare, founder-led content is just, it's the deal breaker. It's the game changer.
It's everywhere. Founder-backed.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
Like what happens with Huda Beauty.
Exactly.
With Jisoo.
All of these brands that are the younger brands, they're all focusing a lot on their founder. So I think that I would say, just put your face out there. I'm assuming you already are doing that a lot.
A bit.
Yeah. So I think that should be really great. Like, you know,
Right.
what your journey is, just keep it raw and real and organic. People want to see it currently in the age of AI. I hate AI.
We're going to talk about it.
In that space, just being able to be real. It also now, very recently actually, it's also not even about very polished, good-looking videos. It's actually just, you know, I saw some video of Kendall Jenner that she had put up yesterday. She literally had a grainy video because, you know, things are so polished now and it's so perfect that imperfection, even in terms of the content you're putting out, is really working.
Becomes in.
It becomes cool, right? Or, oh, you know, they have a camcorder that they're shooting with. So keep it as raw as possible. Think
Right.
about the hook. Think about the content. Don't make it random. Sometimes because you don't have to post every day, it's just, you know, you can also be a little bit random. Just don't do that. And then the thing would be to focus on the paid aspect of it. Like, build your audience, spend money, look at the ads you're running, what formats are working for you, and spend more. Don't spend a lot, but do try with maybe $20 a day at least on different ad formats. Whatever's working for you, then you do more of that. But just don't discount the paid aspect of it fully. Organic is important, but do have a paid. And then the fourth thing that I would be advice would be then influencer marketing, yes, but also a lot of UGC content. Users who can just push your product, talk about it, and tag you a lot, and you can just reshare their content. Yeah.
So it's like community,
Build a community.
focused.
Build a community. Yeah.
Because I've seen also like now the future for me of marketing is really community.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that strong the last maybe 10 years,
Yeah.
but I think from now forward, it's going to be the thing, and people sell to inside the community,
Yeah.
and that's where the real value is happening. And you have like people coming back and you build this relationship.
Yeah.
I've been seeing in the wild in
love
India.
it.
I love what
love
they
it.
have done so far. And I compare myself like, okay, India is like Pakistan. They are just like few years ahead of us.
Yeah.
And I love what she's doing and really coming back to the roots, because I feel also Pakistan, to be honest with you, as an outsider, there is a huge problem of disconnecting with their own heritage and roots, like whitewashed, as you said. And they don't want to, I mean, this link was lost somewhere.
Yeah.
And we feel it in like branding, we feel it in marketing, we feel it in the way they communicate. I mean, there is some cultural aspect that are there with like, I don't know, the desi food or traditional clothes or blah, blah, blah. But it's not that deep.
It's not.
It's not that deep.
Yeah.
And I love how India now is rebuilding this narrative with the Ayurvedic and stuff. So I think that's really important with the...
Bring back the roots. And I think a lot of brands are trying that. Rasta, again, would be a good example.
Right.
They try to bring the made in Pakistan aspect, the block prints. In fashion, still you see it a lot. In beauty, not so much as yet. But I think we're starting to. I think people are understanding the value of a brand that I work with, Zay Beauty. I've worked with them very closely. So Zainab, she's very into making her brand very local. It's like for the brown girls. And then she will try to name them as well in a very local way. Like she will have Dholki and Rangja, very desi names for the products that she's going with. We were discussing recently that maybe, this is working and we want to keep that. Even when we rebrand a little bit, we want to keep that aspect of it
Of course.
within the brand,
I
the
think it's
local
important.
desi.
It's important.
Because otherwise just you can go shop abroad. If you want to have a very whitewashed brand, and there are options. Import is also not so difficult. There are a lot of brands that are doing it. So having that local for the brown skin is something that people should celebrate and want more of.
And yes, if you're still here, subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot to grow and it will mean the world to us.
And it would be like any other brand then at that point. How about AI? So you let escape. I hate AI. So you can repeat it if you want. So what is AI in all this? I ask all my guests, what is your take? Whatever their industry, because AI is going to impact everywhere. So what is your take on as a person,
as a marketer or
as
just a
marketer?
I don't like it. I just not because I think it's great if it helps us cure cancer. But if it's just something that is, if it's just there for us to create fake content and mislead people online, then it really bothers me. Especially, there are two reasons why. So first, I was getting bothered because every second day I had to be like, "Oh, did you see this tool? You need to keep up with it. Oh, nano bananas
We are
here."
so lost with the tools.
It's so exhausting, right? Every day, okay, new tool, keep up. As a marketer, running an agency, running
You
a business, you have to, keep checking, learning. It's like, I'm too old for that. I want to do that.
Yeah, it's exhausting, right?
It is exhausting. But that's fine. You learn, you want to learn, you want to take new skills. I'm all for that. Sure, show me the tool. Even though I hate it, I'll take it. But the main thing that bothers me is how it's social media is flooded with just fake information, fake content. And my mother-in-law will be sharing a video of something ridiculous that has happened. I was like,
And
man,
she thinks it's real.
It's not real. And it's okay. It was the older boomers back earlier when AI was not so advanced. But now even I don't sort of believe.
Actually, it becomes harder to see. Is it AI or no?
Exactly. It's everything just looks real now. You'll see like a tiger attacking a woman, but she's saved because she got into her trunk. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. But no, it's fake. Or a baby being saved by like a dog. It's fake. So I think that really bothers me that, okay, we are, I would like the world to be real. I don't want this doom scrolling. First, we were doom scrolling on like at least real people. Now we're doom scrolling on like fake random content that's made.
But I think it's a necessary step for humanity to like kind of baby steps. So you do random stuff and use it like randomly, but it's necessary to go through this and then mature and use it in the right way. Maybe
I hope so. If it helps us
I
solve
believe
bigger
it
problems,
in that way. But I know that's this maybe 10 to 12 years is going to be a little bit
100%,
messy.
I would actually say maybe
messy.
2 years. People are getting pretty frustrated already. I feel like people might just stop using social media in the next, bad for business.
So that's what make you created Hooked, because I feel like with AI UGC content, what is the borders between the two? Because now everyone is saying, okay, UGC content gonna change with AI because you can just make a prompt and it's there. You don't need the person, you don't need the product, you don't need anything.
For sure.
So it's technically easier.
It's easier.
Maybe it will work better for your product. Maybe it will get the right reach and the right engagement, sales, whatever. Why Hooked then?
So Hooked is because brand still, AI is getting there. AI will help us make content easy. We are able to make really good content with AI even now.
Right.
But I still feel that brands need, so there are two reasons. One, I just was working with a lot of brands. We were doing social media for a lot of brands. I've been doing the Catalyst Act as a marketing agency that I run. And we've been working with a lot of brands, and one thing was for sure that getting a consistent flow of content was very difficult. Right now, you need to be able, it's not like you just do one shoot and you can run that for like 6 months. You need regular content. You can't rely on influencers. It's too expensive. You can't have agencies be doing like full production shoots for you. So there had to be a platform that just gives you content on a daily basis, which is why I got in all these creators who are not influencers. They're just people who are good on camera, who can speak well, who are comfortable with the camera. And I have them across like the country, like from Karachi, Chichawatni, like wherever else. We have that. And they're people who are able to now make money because we are giving them these jobs. Young grads, just freshly graduated, or also like moms sitting at home who have newborn babies but can make good content. So the idea was two-part. One, I want to be able to give all these people who are now getting, who would like to do something on the side, these jobs. And second, I would like to create a content engine for brands, because brands did not have an access to a flow of content, or they don't know what to run as an ad or what to run on social media. So we sort of give them that strategy. Okay, these are the kind of videos you need. This is what you need to run as an ad, and this is what you need to put on social media.
Right.
So I think that was missing, that was needed, and it still is. Every day we're closing brands because brands, and you're also now a brand owner, so you would understand that getting a video to post every day on social media is not easy. It's very difficult. So we do that. We solve for that. So that's one. And the second thing is more personal as to how I hate seeing AI content. I want to be able to, and being a brand owner, also me working with so many brands, I understand AI is cheap. You don't have to spend any money. You just put like a prompt in and you're able to get a really nice video.
Yeah.
Not at the moment, they're very soulless, but eventually you will probably be able to add soul to it as well. So I want to sort of combat that a little bit, give brands an option to be able to create content at a very good price. What they get also is they get the ideas, they get the script, they get to basically, they get an end-to-end product. At least with AI, you will have to think of the prompt yourself. With Hookd, you get it at a good price and you don't have to think of any of the strategy, the ideas, the hooks yourself. This may help with the, because especially in Pakistan where the budgets are limited and people don't understand branding so much, they're like, oh, create whatever, put any prompt, get a video out of it. It will help there. In UAE, again, it's so expensive to create content here. It's also
very competitive market also. So
it is.
You have to stand out.
Exactly. And you having the response has been so great because the price is good, the creators are very real, the ideas are good. And I think right now, no one really wants to be fully AI. They want to keep it real. And I think as things go, you asked with the AI scene and with the UGC scene, how will it stand out? The Kendall Jenner example that I gave, people want like the raw, real, native, messy videos is what's going to come next. It's not going to be those polished AI clean. Sure, even with an AI prompt, you can tell it to make it a little messy and it will. But it still will not be, because we do that. Sometimes we need some B-rolls and we'll use AI for it, but it's not the same. It'll get there though, the way it's progressing and the way it's sort of changing. It just 5 months ago, it's not like what the kind of videos we can make today. We were not able to make these videos maybe also 2 months ago.
It's evolving
It's evolving super fast. But that also means that
it's scary sometimes.
It is. But it's probably just a matter of time.
Social media also will definitely change. For me, I don't see it as existent as it is today with the AI rise. Because as you said, like we're just like maybe few months or maybe 1 year next, we'll just have maybe 80 or 90% of AI generated content on the social media. So people won't be there anymore because they are not interested and they are more interested in like having real connection and real people. And maybe they will, what they call it? The unplugged generation. So it's just like people will leave their phone and just like go for a walk or meet real people in like a community and stuff like that. So maybe it's a good thing then.
And yes, if you're still here, subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot to grow and it will mean the world to us.
Absolutely. And I think that's just a matter of time. I think it's probably another year, maybe 2 years. A lot of people have started moving towards dumb phones. It's a thing now. There's a whole move towards a dumb phone.
Actually, it's like $700. There's a dumb phone. Yeah. Like, okay. Why?
My husband actually, whose job is to, he also has a performance marketing company. So even though he's very much into Meta and social media and he's running pretty much ads for all these companies, he's moved to a dumb phone. He's like, I can't deal with this.
I don't want
smartphone
anymore.
Yeah. So people will move to it.
I would love to know how a brand must build a marketing team. From your experience now, what does it work? Because even me, I was lost. Like, should I have an internal marketing team? What is the minimum necessary for like a starting brand? Or should I have an agency? Should I do a mix? What is the best way you think today to manage your marketing as a brand owner or a founder?
So when you're starting out, start with an agency. Have it all outsourced at the very beginning. Because being able to hire the kind of resources that can really make a difference, somebody who has a lot of experience, somebody who understands channels, budgets, hiring that person in-house will cost a lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah.
So it's not, you'll end up hiring a very mediocre resource if you start looking at your budget. And then, so I would say initially you should have an agency set up. But with time, I think slowly you need to first look for, if branding is not your forte and expertise, then get an in-house brand
team.
Yeah, a brand team.
Like a marketer plus performance marketer plus a designer.
Yeah.
Is these three enough?
I think performance marketer can also be outsourced at the start.
Right.
Brand person should be in-house because I think an agency never feels as
The ownership.
as close to your brand because they're dealing with so many brands. They will never feel that connected to your brand.
Right.
So there has to be a brand person that is within the team that can sort of then manage the agencies and then, keep sort of an eye on what's being done. So that's one. And then I think one thing that in-house would really, so performance marketer can be outsourced, but in-house you should have like a system where you can have a lot of content that's generated within the in-house team. So have a brand team, a designer can also be outsourced, but in-house brand team is what would make the difference. So first just agency, then eventually hybrid with a brand team. First just brand guy, then brand team. And then eventually once you're up there, once you really, really made it, then you could have a fully in-house team. I really believe, even though I have a marketing agency, I really believe in the value of having an in-house team. A lot of brands in Pakistan don't have that. They do rely on agencies. I don't think that's how it should be. If you can afford it, if your brand is at that level, then you should go fully in-house. Like we did at Daraz, we had a fully in-house team. I think I keep giving that example is also because I've worked with so many brands. I haven't seen that kind of a setup where everything is in-house. I also made a studio on my...
I think it's important.
Yeah.
For me, the content is king.
Yeah.
Anyway, with the AI or not AI,
Yeah,
it's there.
it is.
Maybe a last word because our audience is mainly like entrepreneur, tech entrepreneur, startups. I feel like the startups, they focus so much into technology and they don't build much of their brand and marketing. Sometimes they don't, or just like for them, the marketing just for acquisition and not that brand building.
Yeah.
What will be your maybe insight or advice for tech startups to build also a brand like Facebook or like, I don't know, Instagram or whatever, like have that weight in the regional and global level?
Yeah, I think it's most tech startups are not focusing on the brand aspect at all. It's like you have a logo, you have a name, and then you're just like, now just try to get leads, try to get acquisition, and that's it.
All right.
And that's having a brand, building a brand. Start with something as simple as having a font and a color palette. Most people don't even have that. You go on their social media, their fonts are all over the place. Their colors are all over the place. There's no messaging, just putting out whatever.
Right.
So I understand that you can't go too big on focusing too much on brand because you do have numbers to meet. But with something as basic as, okay, this is my color palette. This is my font guide. This is how I communicate. I do British English or American English. What kind of, I speak like a person or I speak professionally. Have these simple things laid down at the start so that when somebody comes and starts managing your social media, or if somebody's writing a caption for your ad on Facebook, there's a guide. Or even when you're setting up your website, you know that, okay, you can't have a mix of colors. You cannot have like 10 different messages. You should have your USPs in place. No brand is thinking about the USPs. Like so many brands I work with, even e-commerce companies, tech companies, there are no set values or 3 top USPs that they can double down on. So for you to build a brand, work on the basics. Don't just jump right into selling your product without carving the story. Carve a story for your brand and then focus on pushing it. And it's very easy to carve a story. You build a brand because you knew what you want to push. Don't just... and also another thing, you need to believe in your product. A lot of times you just start a product, you don't believe in it, but you're like, oh, it's okay. We'll run some ads and the leads will come through. It doesn't work that way. If you don't believe in your product, and if you don't like your product, no one will like your product. So build a product that you love and then build a story around it and then get to doing whatever else you do.
Amazing. I feel like I was feeling that that would be a master class today. So if you learned something new about branding today, put a heart in the comments. 2, 3 last questions. That's a little bit funny. What keeps you up at night?
Brand, deliverables, commitments, AI.
Really? You think about work?
I do think about work.
Too much?
No,
because you're a founder.
Yeah. Actually, I sleep very well.
Okay.
I would just say I sleep I sleep well.
But
I
you keep
sleep,
thinking sometimes.
yeah, I would. It would be nice to say that my work keeps me up at night. It would be a nice thing to say as a founder.
Okay.
But I think we should not take work so seriously that it keeps us up. But yeah.
And if we give
sleep
you
well.
$1,000, how would you invest it?
How would I invest it? I would do 50-50, 50% on creating content, 50% of it on running ads.
And where do you think like the biggest tech hub will be in the upcoming days? Not days, maybe months and years. Karachi, Abu Dhabi, Cairo.
Cairo is a big one.
Okay.
Cairo is also doing pretty well. I think Egypt has been...
In your field?
Yeah,
feel?
for sure.
Yeah.
I think when we think about the region and marketing talent, Cairo has amazing talent.
Right.
So
Okay, you're the first one telling me
really?
about Cairo.
Oh no, they have really good, very smart people, very
I've
Karachi-like.
been working in Cairo. Yeah, for me, Cairo is like Karachi.
Very
exactly.
Karachi-like. And I really like the Karachi people. I like the Karachi. They're very hustle-minded as well. Resilient and, shrewd, smart. So Cairo talent is good. Karachi talent is great. Do I see it as a next tech hub? No. Cairo, sure. I think they
have something.
They have something there. Abu Dhabi is definitely working on it. And Dubai, Abu Dhabi definitely is going to be, I don't know, they've been trying to be the tech hub for a while. A lot of companies come here. The
Right.
tax-free setup helps. It's also very easy to set up a company in Dubai. I think, and Abu Dhabi.
We're going to talk about it off camera then. Thank you, Saman, for being here today. I enjoyed this discussion. Anything you wanted to share maybe we haven't tackled?
I think if you are a Brit, so I think ever since maybe COVID, the last couple of years, most people, perhaps most millennials maybe,
Right.
have been trying to come up with ideas of doing their own thing. Everyone wants to do their own thing. They've been thinking of brand ideas, company ideas, tech ideas. Just do it. Just give it a shot.
Okay.
I think
In worst case, you will fail and you will learn.
yeah. So a lot of people are overthinking it. Most people I speak to are trying to sort of come up with it, figure out whether they should. If you're thinking about it, you should do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Thank you, Saman. Thank you for this discussion
Lovely
on
being
this Thursday morning.
Oh, it's Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas Day. Thank you very much for sharing with like very open heart the background of marketing. And I think I'm going to learn so many things from you. And we're going to talk off camera about all these stuff. Thank you very much, Saman.
It's lovely being here. And I would love to know about your brand as well and how we can scale it.
Thank you.